The people who go to the annual meetings every single year they're just kind of an amazing group of people. These aren't people that you're normally going to run into because they're other CPAs in public practice, CPAs in industry, CPAs in government. You know, you're not usually working with all the different ones, and even CPAs in general think that other CPAs are their competition. So they're not normally just sitting in a comfortable setting that's not competitive. And some of these people have so much fun at these meetings. And you know, there's the huge stereotype that accountants aren't fun. Some of them really are.
Marilyn Bartlett, she is probably the least typical CPA that I know. Even though in a professional stance, she is probably one of the most professional women I know, but outside of that office, she is uncontrollable. And she is out of control. Just ask her husband, Ed.
Oh, that is funny. I'm going to have to think about this one. There are so many funny stories about things that have happened over the years between and with members of the CPA Society. We have had so much fun. Now, I'm trying to think of one that would be politically correct to tell. And most of the ones that come up that aren't involve Gordy, involve Ron Yates.
Oh, I've got more on Maryland.
Involve, oh, the list is long, but none of them involve me. I have been perfect through this whole thing, but I'll tell you, the rest of them are something to be reckoned with.
And Boyd and I and our wives and several other Montanans went to the 100th anniversary convention of the American Institute of CPAs. And this one fellow said, boy, you can't believe the funny thing, the most strange thing I saw last night. And I said, what was that? And he said, well, we went to the Hard Rock Cafe. And he said, there was a guy there, and all of a sudden, he jumped up on the stage and ripped open his coat, and he had a Superman's costume on. And I said, oh, I know who that is. I can even tell you his name. It's Boyd, and he's from Butte, Montana.
Ron Yates had like this office in his house, and there was a picture in there of it was either his son or his daughter that was sitting on the toilet reading like the MSCPA or the Journal of Accountancy or something like that, and under it said, I think it said future CPA.
At an annual meeting not too long ago, image in my mind of Marilyn throwing panties at the annual meeting on this Beatles tribute band.
We had a Beatles tribute band, and one of the other CPAs got it in his mind that, I don't even know, somebody brought it up that said, you know, oh, when the Beatles were playing, you know, the women used to throw their underwear on the stage. So one of our older male CPAs thought it would be a great idea to go down to the local Walmart or Target or whatever it was and buy some ladies' underwear, and they brought him back to the meeting and passed him out to a few people. Marilyn was one of them, and I was right there with her. And you know, eventually we were like the little go-go girls up dancing by the stage, and I think Marilyn was the first one that grabbed hers and actually threw them at the stage.
And then realizing that the AICPA president-elect is standing there right next to her. And I don't know if they were from her personal collection, but they were quite large panties. But
and the poor guy the guy was singing a song and he was in the middle of it, and he just kind of stopped and looked around and then tried to go back to what he was doing and tried to pretend like it didn't happen, but people were just howling. I mean, thankfully it was more towards the end of the night, so, you know, most of the people weren't offended at that point. But